And it started with the evolution of marriage in the 60s. Okay. We decided that it was a bad thing for married people to actually want and desire to kind of serve their spouse.
Yeah, I can say that he's loyal. So there are just some love languages that we're getting from each other. And this man, I can say that they're also looking for certain qualities and characters. And probably we were able to serve it to them.
Welcome back to More to Life. Now, we're going to get into this today. Before we do, I ask that you please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to click the notification bell to ensure that you get my videos as soon as I release them. Now, let me get right into this. We already know we have a lot of women hating on the passport bros, but then also we have the passport bro defenders, right? So we're going to get into defenders. Without further ado, let's get started.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, listen, this is something that's kind of been weighing on my mind a little bit. Not weighing on my mind a little bit, but something that I just been thinking about. And it's this whole situation with the passport bros. And I can kind of understand. And first off, I don't really have anything negative to say about them or their movement. I don't really feel any type of way negative about what single men decide to do with their lives and their life choices and who they decide to choose. But I can definitely, looking at today's society, understand why we have a growing number of American men that are deciding, you know what, I'm going to go overseas and try to find the woman that I want to marry. And it started with the evolution of marriage in the 60s. Okay. We decided that it was a bad thing for married people to actually want and desire to kind of serve their spouse.
Yeah, and like she said, that happened in the '60s, and then after that, we had that generation leading my generation, right? Leading you had the baby boomers. They led the Generation X and the generation after, right? That turned into my generation, the millennials. So then I'm the beginning of the millennials, and then after that, you have millennials that taught the younger kids.
We are a generation of lost masculinity.
There's just servitude to your spouse. And we decided, you know what? If we take the selflessness out of marriage and make them selfish, then that'll make things better. It did not. So we go from there to,
You know what you said? Take the selflessness out of marriage and make it selfish to be better. That's what happened.
Now we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
through this 70s, 80s, 90s, where you still had healthy representations of families and marriage and family was still the standard, but you also had this rising voice of, and it's shouting specifically at the women. Facts. That, we didn't really need marriage and all that other stuff. It wasn't that prominent back then. Somewhere, and it was, marriage was a standard through the church and the society everywhere. Family was the most important thing. It was represented in all of our entertainment and in our homes and in everything that we saw and heard. Our music emphasized real.
Yeah, I remember. She's right. Music was still about love. You saw the Cosbys on television, right? I grew up watching the Cosbys.
We figure after 49 years of marriage, perhaps the two of you need a little romantic inspiration.
Watching family shows that showed togetherness and showed pretty much marriage. You can tell they were married, right? That's what we've seen. Even the music was like that. But now everything tainted.
Love. And then like around the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, it started to fade. So then came like this wave of like anti-love, anti-family, I don't want to get married, all that stuff. So that started to rise, the independent woman voice kind of came, started screaming louder in like the early 2000s.
You know what's crazy? She may be my age, a little bit older, right? And she obviously seen and paid attention to what was happening. Because the titles, we wonder why they're going overseas. She's seen the systemic programming, right? She's seen it. It was a programming that happened. when I was growing up. And that programming slowly turned from togetherness to separation. That's what she's explaining. And I know this may be going over a lot of you guys' heads. A lot of you guys, some guys may be young, right? Some guys maybe even in the space that don't realize, oh wow, this is why it's like that. Or some younger guys may be watching this video going, okay, I see, or they learned, or they're paying more attention. And a woman like this would be called a pick me. And you can see her energy, her humbleness. I don't know her from Adam, but she's obviously understanding and something a guy would need. Now, I'm not saying that all the women back home are tainted, because she probably isn't. But she seems like an understanding one, but you guys already know that you can't trust it, right? I'm not saying I can't trust her. I don't know her. But still, it's that bad. And here we are today. Let me let her finish.
And from there, we have this growth of anti-marriage, anti-family sentiment that just emphasizes and actually believes that single parenthood, which even single parents will tell you is not the flex that you think it is a better alternative to marriage. So, and now we just have a society that doesn't want to see the growth of families, whether they're single parent or whether it's two parent income, especially two parent families. So children are the burden, the man is the oppressor, the marriage system is slavery has been the kind of common theme, and we wonder why these men exist. Like, I wouldn't marry.
So these are my thoughts with this passport bros trend. I'm a bit late about this, but I still want to give my opinion. So I'm from the Philippines and my boyfriend is a foreigner, so I'm kinda, you know, one of those girls that feel a bit attacked on that. But personally, don't I'm not offended, cause I know myself. What's my value and what I can bring to the table when it comes to romantic relationship.
What do I bring to the table? Excellent question. I am the table.
You heard what she said? She knows herself. She's not offended because she knows herself and knows her value, what she can bring to the relationship. That's not offensive to her. Guys, I was going around in Cebu, right? And I go around in Manila. And don't be wrong, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm going to show those too. Sometimes you have women that say, oh, I feel like it's slavery. You have modern women here too, right? But for the most part, women are saying, I feel like it's my responsibility. I feel like if I'm married to my husband, it's my responsibility.
You're married, right? You're married? So, do you feel it's a pain to cook and clean for your husband?
Kasi talagang Tagalog sa responsibility.
Yeah.
As a wife.
I have older women saying it, younger women saying it. Actually, my last video, right, when I was with my boy TJ, the woman was saying it's my responsibility. One woman was 20, one woman was about close to 50, right? It's my responsibility. And it's true, but it's not like that back home. Let me finish.
And it's more than the language that I can speak. It's more than the education that I attained. So I graduated accountancy and doing pretty decent job here in the Philippines. So I never ask money from my boyfriend because these girls they're telling somehow discreetly that we're after the money, the provision or the citizenship of these guys. But to be honest with you, you cannot speak on our behalf because we have our personal dating life. At least I can speak for myself. Like, I had a not so good relationship encounter or dating among Filipino men. So that's why I considered foreign guys. And with my boyfriend.
Guys, she said the same thing, the same way she felt as how my wife felt, right? I explained it so many times, but there are some Filipinos, I won't say all, there's some that feel this way, that feel they can't trust Filipinos. And no, this is no slight to Filipino men, right? I know many Filipino men that are good guys, but they got shoot and scoot where guys have babies and straight abandon because they can get away with it. right? That happens. And then also you have players, right? There's so many gorgeous women here in the Philippines, man. Like, guys, imagine a woman you see in a magazine, and then sometimes in certain areas, it won't happen like, oh, you see all the time, but you're in a certain area, guys, like when I'm in BGC or in Makati, certain parts of Makati, and I'm certain areas, because a lot of times these women that are the most gorgeous sometimes be in the most prominent positions, right? And you see dime after dime after dime after dime after dime. And yeah, and guys that are here and that are, who these women want. And the same thing in the US, but it happens. Got this Pookie and Ray Ray's here too. And the women that will go with the guys where we're from want to avoid them.
I feel love. I feel valued, and yeah, I can say that he's loyal. So there are just some love languages that we're getting from each other. And this man, I can say that they're also looking for certain qualities and characters. And probably we were able to serve it to them more than what they also experience on dating women from their own countries. So don't get mad with us and to these passport boys, because we're just all looking for our own happiness in life.
Ooh, looking for happiness. She said it. We're all looking for our own happiness, right? The guys are looking for something feminine and delicate. You can't shame happiness.
In life, regardless of the, of the race, the language we speak. It's our own choice, especially this men, like they are
You see how sweet she is, right, guys? You see that?
they're hunters. So it's not unusual for them to look around and to explore their options,
We always have a choice.
because we women from these developing countries are doing the same thing. So yeah, peace.
She said these men are hunters. She understands primal instincts, right? She said these men are hunters, right? So it's kind of like it doesn't make sense what's happening, right? She's breaking it down. She said these men are hunters, and we're looking for pretty much someone to take care of us, or men that will be what we need, right? So it's a match made in heaven. That's what's happening. And with that being said, guys, I don't know what's going on with women getting that confused. But one thing I do know, the women over here get it, because they understand it's definitely more to life than dealing with you.